today's news.
CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com. I'm Peter King in Orlando. We could learn soon whether or not the U.S. Supreme Court will allow a popular abortion pill to stay on the market. Here's correspondent Jan Crawford.
They could block this federal court judge's ruling in Texas entirely. That would keep this drug available just like it's always been. It wouldn't change anything, and then the case would just play out in the lower courts below. It could also say the opposite, which is we're just going to let this judge's ruling go into effect. That would mean that the pill could no longer be used. The other thing it could do is kind of a mixed bag, take that middle ground and block part of the judge's ruling, but then allow other parts of it to proceed.
The NFL has suspended 5 players for violating the league's gambling policy. They include Washington's Shaka Toney and 4 Detroit Lions. Here's WWJ's Tony Ortiz.
The 4 wide receivers Jamison Williams, Quintez Cephas, and Stanley Berryhill, and safety C.J. Moore were suspended by the league for violating the NFL's policy on gambling. 2 of them, Cephas and Moore, bet on NFL games, which led to their release by the Lions less than an hour after word of the suspensions were announced. The other 2 have been suspended for the first 6 games of the regular season.
Violence in Sudan is making it a more dangerous place by the hour, and the U.S. military says it will help some, but not all Americans get out. CBS's David Martin.
The U.S. is making it very clear that it is only planning to evacuate the several dozen American diplomats stationed in Khartoum. It is not planning to evacuate the several hundred American citizens who live and work in Khartoum.
3 of 4 suspects have been arrested for stealing hundreds of guns in Indianapolis.
Authorities in Indiana have charged 4 men with conspiracy to steal hundreds of guns from an Indianapolis area shipping company. U.S. Attorney Zachary Myers.
Over the course of months, these stolen guns disappeared from the stream of commerce and were pumped into our communities and into the hands of people who had no business having them.
The theft involved about 200 guns. Each of the men faces up to 15 years in federal prison if they're convicted. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The day before Earth Day, the World Meteorological Association calls for fast action on climate change.
According to the report, 2022 saw records in glaciers melting, sea levels rising, and oceans becoming warmer. The last 8 years have been the warmest recorded since the 1800s. All this, the report says, is leading to climate challenges around the world. In some places, droughts. In other places, record rains. Millions of people have been displaced. The report calls some of the changes off the charts and says we are moving in the wrong direction. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
Wall Street, the Dow is down a fraction, the NASDAQ up 10. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.